The State of Crypto is presented by Tron, connecting the world to the power of cryptocurrency.
Joining us now with more legal analysis on Sam Bankman-Fried's upcoming trial is ZFZ Law co-founder Michael Zweiback. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right, we're continuing this SBF watch that we started the show off with. You have significant experience in white-collar criminal defense. In your opinion, were the judge's actions in SBF's hearing fair here?
Oh, they were definitely fair. I think this judge has given him a lot of opportunity to sort of correct the behavior before trial. But this judge is clearly exasperated with Mr. Bankman-Fried, and it's sort of a bad move on his part to continue to poke this judge and create issues that really should be, at this point, not an issue.
In your experience, have you seen people act in this way ahead of trial, and how have you seen the courts respond? Is this a normal response that we're seeing from the judge?
Well, it's nothing about this case is normal. Mr. Bankman-Fried's behavior and his sort of intent to continue to comment on the facts of the case are unusual. Typically, your defense team is going to step in and prohibit you from doing this. Mr. Bankman-Fried definitely has a mind of his own and seems to be insistent that he needs to have access to comment on all the various issues related to his case.
If you were his lawyer, how would you be advising him right now?
Stop talking. I've said this from the very beginning. He is only undermining his ability to get a fair trial in front of a jury. It's also the fact that he continues to create issues in front of the court that is going to be overseeing the trial in this case, as well as potentially sentencing him. And his behavior indicates that he just refuses to accept any form of responsibility if that becomes an issue later on in the case for sentencing.
You know, it's not like he doesn't have a good legal team supporting him. His parents are lawyers. Are you surprised that this is continuing to move forward the way it is for him?
Well, I'm not surprised because defendants with his level of ego seem to always think that they know better than their defense attorneys, even with the absolute best of defense teams, and certainly he has one of those, sometimes just cannot control their clients' mindsets.
All right. Now, we set the story up a little bit with Nick prior to you joining us. Do you anticipate that other conditions of his bail will change ahead of the trial in October?
Well, I think this judge is probably of a mindset to impose a formal gag order. I think that I don't know that he's there yet on actually imprisoning Bankman-Fried right now. I suspect that there will be a gag order that will be placed as part of this, and we'll see what the next steps are. But Mr. Bankman-Fried's rope is running out on this, and I think this judge is close to putting him in jail.
In your opinion, is this gag order a direct result of these leaked diary entries that the New York Times published, or is it a slow burn that led up to this?
Well, I'm actually surprised. I've been in very high-profile cases where the gag orders were imposed at the very beginning and outset. And given the international media attention to this case, I'm sort of surprised that there wasn't one at the very beginning.
All right. And if it's proven true, could those diary leaks amount to an instance of witness tampering here? And maybe unpack what this actually means for the trial.
Well, witness tampering as a crime requires an intent to dissuade a witness to testify. I think in this case, it was more of an attempt to undercut her credibility. So I don't think it really rises to the level of the crime of witness intimidation, but it certainly is an attempt to get to her general credibility as a witness, her bias and motivations, and it also is a warning shot to other witnesses. Look, I've got a lot of information about you, and this is a warning shot, and I think that's why the judge in this case has to impose this gag order and stop the parties from talking.
And how might it affect the jury? How might it affect jury selection?
In these types of high-profile cases, the jury is going to have heard just about everything possible on this case. I don't think that the case law is pretty clear that the pretrial publicity it's very difficult to sort of create a case where you cannot find a jury pool that would be fair and able to sit for this type of case. So. In a city like New York, I expect that they'll be able to find a jury, and I don't expect that the media attention will really ultimately impact the ability to find a fair jury.
In those diary entries that were leaked to the New York Times, we heard Caroline Ellison say that she didn't think that she was suited to be running the company. We heard a lot about the inner workings of the company that have come out in various different aspects leading up to this trial. What do you anticipate is going to happen? We have Caroline Ellison as a star witness for the prosecution. What do you anticipate is going to happen when this starts in October?
Well, there's been a lot of focus on the fact that she is going to be the star witness. She's not going to be the only star witness. There will be others that certainly have already pled guilty. A lot of the prosecution's case is going to rely upon text messages, written email communications, things that are going to corroborate the facts that ultimately are part of the crime here. So it's not just going to be based upon her spoken word. It's going to be based upon other people's statements and the interactions of the various witnesses that'll prove this fraud.
Michael, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
That was ZFZ Law co-founder Michael Zweiback.